I'll tell you what, let's actually start off. I'll start moving a little bit, even though I know some folks are probably gonna still hop on here shortly. But I'm gonna use my chair just for some balance. I'm gonna start with just some hip swinging today. Get our hips loosened up a little more. Nice, just big swing forward and back. Ooh, I like the lawn furniture. That's awesome. Try not to knock myself over. Now with the same leg, once we're done with forward and back, it's really good to do some side to side. Trying to just let your leg fly as much as you can. And we'll do some circles. Oh, just getting it moving. All right, let's switch legs. I'm going to go forward and back with the other one. We are going to do some hip hinges. I don't know about you guys, but I can definitely tell this one's a little tighter. Kind of doesn't want to fly as much. That's okay. All right, just nice forward and back. And then let's go ahead and switch to side to side. All right. So getting it nice and loosened up a little bit more. All right, other leg, let's just do some big hip circles. Good, and switch sides. Very good. All right. Now I'm going to use my wall. And don't worry, we are not getting crazy with lunging today. So up against the wall or the chair, I'm going to come down into that backward lunge. But what I want you to do is take the outside leg. You're going to pull on it. And again, I'm going to get close to the wall so I can stretch my chest at the same time as I'm getting a pull on the side of that leg. Multi-purpose stretch here. All right, let's go to the other side. So you want the bent leg to be closer to the wall or the chair. Then you're going to grab onto it, kind of resist against your hand, and let your chest just sort of stretch with that other hand on the wall. All right. Now let's come on up. That was a good rotational stretch. I do want to do just a couple more of these. Okay, we'll alternate. I'm going to use again just the chair just for balance. Just squeeze the glute as you go back. You'll get sick of these eventually, but they're so good. All right, let's do 2 more on each side. Then we're going to do some hip hinging. All right, last one on this side. Okay. And now for the hip hinging, you can use a chair or the wall just to balance yourself. And the way this is, we've done these a little bit this week, is you're trying to keep your back leg in a straight line with your body as you hinge at the hip. And you should feel a pretty good stretch in the back of your hamstring when you do that. Okay, let's do 3 more of those. We don't have to do too much with our arms right now. We'll take care of that here in a second. Last one. Good, and let's switch sides. So opposite leg coming back. As much as you can, try to keep your leg in a straight line with your body. It's kind of hard to tell if you're not looking at yourself. where mirrors come in really handy. Oh, that should feel really good though. Some good range of motion. Let's do 3 more. 2. All right, 1 more. Nice. All right, I'm gonna come back to face you and feet nice and wide, arms up in the air, thumbs going towards the ceiling, or I'm sorry, towards the wall behind you or whatever. And let's get that squat down. Instead of grabbing your feet though, let's do 5 squat downs, really deep, as much as you can. Trying to keep your arms as parallel to your ears as possible. Just pinning those shoulder blades back. Okay, here we go, last one. And now on this one, go ahead, come on down, grab your feet. Oh, such good range of motion. You're really pushing against the inside of your thighs. Again, we're gonna rock just a little bit, which is also great for your ankle mobility. Okay, and then slowly come up. Feel that stretch in the back of your hamstrings. And roll all the way up. All right, let's get your feet just a little bit wider. And we're gonna do some stationary lateral lunges. I think it's really good to line your feet up with something so you know they're parallel and trying to keep your toes facing forward. And as we go side to side, you should feel a stretch on the inside of your thigh as we're getting a little bit more mobility in the upper shoulder blades. Okay, let's do 2 more of those to each side. All right, last one to this side. Okay. And now from that bent over position, I definitely want to do some of the T's. Coming straight back. I'm putting my palms straight up towards the ceiling. Just opening up the chest and really working on those shoulder blade muscles. Okay, let's do 2 more like that. Awesome. All right. Now I am going to hit the mat. Okay, we're going to do a little bit more in the way of hip mobility today. Come all the way down. Before we get started with that, let's go ahead and do some glute bridges. And let's bring your hands all the way up. Let them relax over your head. Okay, we're gonna drop just like an inch. Squeeze the butt on the way up. We're not gonna do too many of those. Squeeze. Let's do 3 more. 1, 2, and 3. All right. Now I'm gonna bring my hands behind my thighs, do a little bit of a knee hug. And then from here, let your arms come out to the side. Raise your hand or your feet up in the air. And you're gonna try to let your body go from one side to the other. If you feel comfortable going all the way down, go all the way down. If you're not comfortable going all the way down, then start part way. Part of the idea here is to keep your arms on the floor, which is a little tricky. These are called hip windshield wipers. And if you're not comfortable going all the way down, you can stop part way. That is also a pretty good core challenge. But we're kind of working on that upper spine mobility. So if you're comfortable going all the way down, and let yourself do that. Okay, let's do 1 more of those to each side. And back. Whew. I'm a little clunky, but it works. All right. Go ahead and put your hands down on the floor. And I want you to tuck your tailbone just a little bit. We're gonna alternate and lower one leg at a time to the floor. Think about pulling your belly button in. This is great range of motion, but it's also a really great core activation exercise. It's just alternate lowering towards the floor. Really important that you do keep one leg up at all times, and that's going to make sure that your back stays in a nice, safe, neutral position. You should feel your abs engaging quite a bit as you lower that leg. Let's do 2 more of those to each side. And 2. 2. Nice. Okay, let's do a little hip hug again. You kind of rock side to side. Boy, does that feel nice. Awesome. All right, now this one looks a little bit weird. You're gonna let your knees come apart, reach down, reach in. Kind of an upside down frog. Keep your pelvis tucked under. Yeah, let's do 2 more of those. Last one. All right, and now you can put your hands behind your thighs. Use them to roll up. Don't get dizzy though. All right, now we're gonna go to a side plank position. And what we're gonna do here, come on up, you're actually gonna lift your top leg. We're gonna fold forward and then reach up and come back. Fold forward, reach up and come back as you push your hips forward. Fold down and up. Fold down and up. Okay, let's do 5 more of those. Pull back, down, pull back. Good, 2 more. Down and pull back. Nice. Before we do the other side, I want you to do, we're going to do the side lying rotation for your upper spine. I gotta take my ponytail out because I keep lying on it, guys. I'm sorry. So hands together. And the idea here is really make sure your hips stay stacked. So you're not rotating at your hips at all. Okay, hips should stay stacked, one on top of the other. And the more repetitions we do, hopefully you're getting closer and closer to the ground on the other side. This really opens up the thoracic spine and the chest. If you have trouble keeping your hips stacked, try pushing your knees together. That will help. And you'll probably feel a little bit greater stretch. Let's do 2 more of those, and then we're going to switch sides. Okay, come on up, let's flip over. Let's start with that side plank. Okay, so it's an elbow plank. Again, you're gonna come up. You're gonna lift that top leg up. We're folding ourselves down. And then coming up, squeezing the butt as you push your hips forward. Fold down, come up and squeeze. Fold down, up and squeeze. Should be feeling your butt doing something. Up and squeeze. Good, let's get 3 more of those. 1, 2, and 3. Good, come on your side. This is maybe my favorite one. Okay, totally normal if one side is tighter than the other. Again, if you have a hard time getting your hips to stay stacked. Try pushing your knees together, pushing down with that top knee. You should feel a pretty big difference there as we're only moving through the upper back. Oh, doesn't it feel good though? Oh yes. Nice, pushing those knees together. Reaching. Okay, let's do 3 more. Two. All right. And 3. Woo. All right, we're gonna do some hands and knees, but first, this is a little bit of a new one. I'm just gonna kneel. You can do this however you want. Put your fingers on top of your shoulders. And what we're gonna do is you're gonna bring your elbows together. Try to feel those shoulder blades pulling apart. Lift and circle around. Bring them together, lift, circle. We're making nice big circles with those shoulder blades that tend to get super tight. If you feel some snap, crackle popping in there, that's okay. Nice, let's do 2 more of those. Last one. Good, and then stay here just for a second. We'll do a little side to side on your neck. You can kind of pull down with your fingertips gently. Just a little bit different way to do this stretch. All right. Okay, now, oh, one of my favorites. Let's bring the knees kind of wide. Go ahead and sit back. Take one hand, anchor it, and you're gonna pull. So this one's anchored, pull with the other one. And you should feel a really good stretch behind that shoulder blade. Keep that one anchored on the floor. Oh, that feels nice. Okay, now take that top hand, shoot it under. And you're gonna grip the floor with your elbow. Hands should be relaxed. Just letting that shoulder blade pull. Sit back as much or as little as you're comfortable with. And switch sides. So one hand is anchored on the floor. Grab on top of it, really pull. You should feel that pull in the back of the shoulder blade if the hand is on top as you're pulling with that arm. And then let's go ahead and shoot it underneath. And again, gripping the floor with your elbow. Pulling on that shoulder blade a little bit. That feels amazing. I don't know about you guys, but I think it feels wonderful. All right, and let's come forward and reach both hands forward. Walking your fingertips on the floor. Feeling a nice gentle pull throughout most of your back. Okay. And now, let's come into the tall plank position. And you're gonna bring one foot up to the side. For me, that never happens in one smooth motion. I have to kind of inch it a little bit. But once you're up here, squeeze the glute of the leg that's straight. Plant your hand next to the foot in front of you. And you're gonna reach and rotate towards the ceiling. Little balance involved there. Gently come on back down. Bring that leg back. and switch sides. Like I said, for me, that's never one smooth movement. I have to inch it up a little bit. Plant that hand, reach up, let your eyes follow your hands. Squeezing the glute of the leg that's back. All right, and let's come back down here. Okay, and then let's go ahead and bring one leg up. We did a lot of glute work yesterday and this week. This stretch you should really feel on the side of your glutes. I love this one. Put as much or as little pressure as you want. Remember, we're never pushing past the point of pain. It should just feel like a good, moderate pull. If you ever are in pain, don't do it or back off. All right, switch sides. Okay, so other leg comes forward. Sit down into that. Try to put your elbows in front of you. Put as much or as little pressure on that leg as you feel comfortable with. I'm feeling an incredible stretch right here, and I'm not even putting that much pressure on it. So wherever your comfort level is. Just kind of sink into it a little bit. All right. And now let's come back into hands and knees. That's the tabletop position. And a little more thoracic spine mobility. So one hand behind your ear. And let's rotate. Let's do 10 of these on each side. And the idea here is as we get a little more mobility and repeat, we should be able to get a little closer to the ceiling each time. Okay, there's 5. Again, to your own comfort level. The mobility should increase a little bit each time though. 8. Good, 2 more. 9. 10. All right, let's go ahead and switch sides. Same thing. Come down. Rotate up. Once again, it is totally normal to feel one side is tighter than the other. Good. All right, let's get 5 more of those. If my counting's off, I apologize. I have a hard time talking and counting at the same time. All right. Last one there. Nice. All right. Now we're going to do a couple of opposite arm and leg reaches. Okay, so we're going to come forward, side, switch. Forward, side, switch. Forward, side, switch. Forward, side. Let's do 2 more of those on each. Forward, side. Nice. Forward, side. Forward, side. And forward, side. All right. Now, if you have a pillow, a big pillow, a ball, anything that you can put your back leg on, I wanted to get a little bit more stretch in those hip flexors just because we really worked them this week. So all I'm going to do is I'm putting my back foot up on that pillow. You can use whatever. I mean, it can be your chair, it can be a ball, it can be a stack of books, whatever you can do. It just gives you a little bit more of a stretch in that deep hip flexor, which attaches to your spine. I spend so much time on these because they are the cause of lots of lower back aches in people with desk jobs. So once you're in that position, again, you're going to squeeze the glute of the leg that's back and reach the same arm up in the air. If you can, lean forward a little bit, that's great. If not, that's okay too. You should really be feeling that in the front of that hip flexor. Squeeze and reach your fingers towards the ceiling. All right, and with that foot still there, we can't neglect that hamstring stretch. Just straighten out the front leg, reach with the opposite hand. And I'm gonna go ahead and switch feet. Okay, so same thing. That back foot should be pretty relaxed. As you lean into it, squeeze the glute of the leg that's back. Reach that same arm up in the air. And I mean, really reach, like you're trying to touch the ceiling. Keep squeezing the glute. All right. And now bring the front leg straight. Gently lift your toes, don't crank them. Just a nice stretch in the back of that hamstring. All right. And then just final, you can put your hands behind you, pull one arm down a little more than the other, and let's really get another neck stretch in there. A little bit forward and a little bit back. As you're actively pulling that arm down towards the floor. Okay, and then when you're ready, switch to the other side. Pull the opposite one down. Tilt your head gently forward and back to your comfort level, feeling a stretch inside of those neck muscles. And we'll give you a quick tip too. This has been really helpful for me as far as tension in my neck. And that is, I'm sure you've noticed my camera, my computer is always kind of pointing down. I've got my computer so elevated that I never have to put my head down, because when I do, especially on a stressful day, I will get those knots in the side of your neck where like you can't even turn your head. Since I've put my computer up so that I have to slightly look up at the monitor, it has made all the difference in the world for me. So that's just a nugget being thrown in. Do you guys, I know it's 12:30, so you probably need to jump. If you need to jump, I will see you tomorrow for workout of the day. If you have anything else you want to stretch real quick, just give me a